Well, hello there. Welcome to Boost 2021. We're so excited to have you all join us for this milestone of the year, our 10th annual Boost event, a decade of Boost. My name is Taylor Bradshaw, and I will be your Dell MC for this year's event. And if you were here last year, hello again. So why am I here? Because I care deeply about the environment and know it's up to all of us to ensure a sustainable future and a healthy Mother Earth. This year's finalists are amazing examples of the many ways we can all contribute to bettering our planet. I'm so glad y'all took the time out of your busy days to join us for our second virtual Boost. You will not be disappointed. We have some phenomenal finalists who are ready to pitch their incredible and sustainable organizations to you tonight. But before we begin, we want to give all our viewers a little bit of background on our Dells and this amazing event. So first off, for those who are not familiar, Boost is hosted annually by the Delta Emerging Leaders, or better known as the Dells. Our Dells work in a variety of sectors by day, but come together as volunteers to promote environmental causes in Chicago as the Associate Board for the Delta Institute. This event, Boost, actually stands for Building Opportunities for Original and Sustainable Thinking, which I often forget because Boost is such a snazzy little acronym. But tonight you'll be watching a pitch competition from environmental entrepreneurs in the Chicagoland area, all tackling complex environmental challenges across the Midwest. Boost creates a platform for each entrepreneur to pitch their ideas to an audience, which is you, who will vote to select a winner. The lucky recipient will receive $5,000 from the Delta Institute to boost their impact. So these 4 finalists were carefully selected from an incredible pool of applicants. They're a slate of innovative projects with the potential for sustained growth and true impact to sustainability in the Midwest. First, you will listen to each finalist pitch their ideas, followed by a live talk back where you, the audience, will have a chance to ask questions and learn a little bit more about how each of the entrepreneurs plans to make a big impact. So now it's time. Sit back, grab a drink, enjoy the show, and of course, do not forget to vote for the Boost 2021 winner.
Hello and welcome to Delta Institute's 10th annual Boost. And thanks, Taylor, for getting us kicked off tonight. My name is Bill Schleiser, CEO of Delta Institute, and I am so excited for you to be joining us tonight for this decade of social entrepreneurship. I continue to be astounded and impressed by the passion and innovation that our social entrepreneurs bring year over year in this exciting program. We've had Boost winners that increase access to local food composting options, whether that's in your home, office, or even your neighborhood block. We have seen ideas devoted to addressing food insecurity and access to healthy fruits and vegetables. We have seen innovative ideas to develop environmentally sustainable hair care products for women of color. We have seen entrepreneurs devoted to promoting urban beekeeping, creating local economies around reclaimed lumber, and developing small businesses that cultivate and deliver local flowers from Chicago's South Side. Here at Delta, we've even had the privilege of partnering with past Boost winners in our work, such as in our partnership with Greenprint Partners in redeveloping a brownfield site in Gary, Indiana, or our current collaboration with Zumwalt Acres in transitioning their farm to a climate-smart regenerative practice in Sheldon, Illinois. Before we hear from this year's finalists, I want to share a little bit more about what we do here at the Delta Institute. Delta Institute is a nonprofit organization that collaborates with communities throughout the Midwest to solve complex environmental challenges. We envision a region in which all communities and landscapes thrive through an integrated approach to environmental, economic, and social challenges. Our work focuses on 3 programmatic areas. First, our nature-based climate solutions program develops solutions for Midwest communities who are seeing more challenges arise from the impacts of climate-related flooding. And by 2025, Delta will have assisted municipalities and communities in integrating natural and green infrastructure, reducing stormwater impacts by 100 million gallons and leveraging $100 million in investment. Our second program is Resilient Agriculture. Delta has a long history in working with agricultural communities to help improve their environment, increase economic vitality in farming communities, and helping mitigate the impacts of climate change. For this program, we seek to impact at least 1 million Midwest acres by helping at least 1,000 farmers transition to sustainable and regenerative farming practices by the year 2025. And our third program, Sustainability and Support Services, is a distinctly separate program that allows us to continue utilizing our staff skills and expertise to support other sustainability goals in the communities and businesses where we work. This goal focuses on Delta's core expertise in waste and deconstruction, community planning and brownfield redevelopment, agency support and capacity assistance, and sustainable business consulting, market research, and certifications. You can learn more about our work by visiting us at www.delta-institute.org and by following us on all the social media channels, except for TikTok. Now I want to take a moment to thank all of the sponsors who make this event possible. It means so much to us to have your support for this flagship event for the Delta Emerging Leaders. Thank you to all of our supporters at the American Family Insurance Institute for Corporate and Social Impact, United Airlines, Comcast, the People's Gas Community Fund, Mike and Peggy Stevens, Carbon Yield, the Delta Emerging Leaders Alumni Group, RW Ventures, the Walter S. Mander Foundation, our board director, Etelbert Williams, and Wolf Computer Associates. We appreciate all your support and generosity. Lastly, I want to give a big shout out to the Delta Emerging Leaders Associate Board themselves, who put together this entire event this year. You guys have done a bang-up job. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen in the pitches tonight. We at Delta are grateful for all the hard work you put into this event to promote sustainable entrepreneurship, and a special thanks to all the many Dells throughout the years who have helped make this program really a success and boost the community around us for innovative social entrepreneurship ideas. And now, before we meet this year's 4 Boost finalists, we have a special update for you from our last year's winners at Zumwalt Acres. Take it away.
Hello, welcome to Zumwalt Acres, a regenerative agriculture community. We are a few members of the Fall 2021 cohort here at Zumwalt Acres.
Zumwalt Acres was founded in the summer of 2020 by twin sisters Gavi and Remy Welbo and a group of young environmentalists. Their family has been farming this land for 6 generations.
Fueled by the Jewish value of Tikkun Olam, or repairing the world, Zumwalt Acres was founded as an organization rooted in Jewish values and dedicated to 3 main goals.
The first is to transition the Zumwalt family farm in Sheldon, Illinois, from conventional row crops to regenerative agriculture by planting trees, increasing soil health and soil carbon capture, and growing healthy and nutritious food.
Second goal is to share Judaism's rich agricultural history to empower the next generation of farmers and climate leaders.
The third is to lead scientific efforts to make agriculture part of the solution in the fight against climate change. Come on a tour of the farm with us!
Here we are in our greenhouse with our currently under construction wash station. Outside are our bayit beds. Bayit means home in Hebrew, so come along and I'll show you that garden. Here in Bayit, we've grown spinach, radishes, sweet corn, carrots, kale, and more. We currently have oats growing as a cover and kale and radishes planted, as well as over here we have our beautiful melon patch.
Beyond our bayit bed is our strawberry patch. Here we are growing around 300 strawberry plants in which we have applied varying rates of biochar and basalt, our 2 soil amendments of interest. Similar to the practice of liming, we add basalt to the soil to adjust the pH.
When basalt dissolves, the silicate compounds in the rock react with carbon dioxide, taking it out of the atmosphere. This reaction forms calcium carbonate, which goes into the oceans and helps fight ocean acidification by rebuilding coral reefs.
According to a study done by Nature.com, the salt can capture up to 13% of agricultural emissions when scaled across the Midwest. By continually monitoring soil pH and composition, as well as plant growth, we can investigate optimal application rates.
During our peak harvest during the summer months, we harvested hundreds of pounds of produce each day. This is the beautiful Miracle Garden. Over the first growing season, we've grown sweet potatoes, carrots, turnips, chard, peppers, and eggplants, and so much more. It is also home to some of our young Asian pear trees.
Beyond Miracle Garden, we have our shelter belts and orchards. This spring, we planted 1,066 trees, including apples, pears, peaches, apricots, chestnuts, pawpaws, pecans, just to name a few. Some of these trees will continue to thrive and produce for hundreds of years. Agroforestry is the practice of growing trees in integrated systems to provide healthy food and ecological services. The practice originated in indigenous agriculture and is now seen as a powerful pathway to a more resilient food system.
Between our shelter belts is our 20-acre multi-year study of crushed basalt application. The basalt application rates range from 0.5 tons per acre to 24 tons per acre.
Next, we have Goat Garden. We call it that because that's where our goats used to live. Here we've grown tomatoes, bell peppers, jalapenos, eggplants, kale, kohlrabi, and more. We distribute produce to our local food bank and to folks in Greater Illinois. This season, we distributed over 2 tons of produce to our community.
Across the road lives more pawpaws, as well as elderberries, blackberries, persimmons, and aronia berries. During the growing season, we harvested cucumbers, potatoes, green beans, and a variety of squash. Our fall squash have arrived just in time for Sukkot, the Jewish harvest holiday. This Sukkot, we are celebrating with the bounty of good food, singing, and dancing.
This is one of our biochar kilns. Using ash trees killed by the emerald ash borer, an invasive beetle, we've converted about 5,000 kilograms of dead wood into biochar, a highly stable form of carbon to apply to our garden beds. This practice formed the fertile terra preta soils and has been used by indigenous Amazonians for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
In just 1 year, Zumwalt Acres has become a center of climate change research, healing food, hands-on learning, religious exploration, and perhaps more than anything, community. We are incredibly grateful to be able to continue to learn and grow here at Zumwalt Acres. Thank you so much to the Lumpkin Family Foundation and the Delta Institute for your continued support that has allowed us to launch Zumwalt Acres. We would not be here without you.
Shalom! Shalom!
And now, Chicago Tool Library.
My name is Tessa Vierik, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Chicago Tool Library. We've all been there. You're trying to complete a project, but you don't have the right tool. And it's so expensive to buy one. Do you buy it anyway? Do you buy a low-quality version? Maybe you pay someone to do it for you, or you just give up. That's where tool libraries come in. We help you get the things that you need without having to buy them, whether that's power tools, garden equipment, or even things like sewing machines, microphones, food dehydrators. It's all here for you to borrow. Libraries are so much more than what's on the shelves. We all know libraries to be essential social infrastructure with compounding benefits. They encourage resilient, creative communities, they save people money, and they take unused materials, divert them from landfills, and get them into the hands of people who can use them. But an even more important environmental benefit of tool libraries is that we're helping people change their consumer habits. Tool libraries create a clear alternative to consumption and ownership that is familiar, it's social, and it's sensible. When people ask themselves, what can I do to help with climate change? Borrowing instead of buying is a really great answer. But now what we need is investment. We can't shop our way out of the climate crisis. We need to invest in alternatives. Tool libraries deserve prime real estate in our neighborhoods, like the Buffalo Tool Library here, to make leading more sustainable lives easy. Tool libraries are finding their place among solutions for our climate crisis at the highest levels of global leadership, as well as our local government here in Chicago, who included us as a solution in their 2021 waste strategy, all recognizing that tool libraries are an important alternative to recycling and can help build more sustainable communities. Chicago Tool Library is a nonprofit organization. We opened in 2019 with a tremendous amount of support from the wider Chicago community, including the Delta Institute, who invited us to participate in the 2019 Boost Pitch competition. Since then, we've transformed this empty room into a vibrant community space that now serves over 1,400 households across the city of Chicago. New people from across the city are joining the library every day, and they're accomplishing amazing things with their access. With the help of the tool library, our users have renovated their homes, planted gardens, they've worked on their cars, they've gone on adventures, they've tried new things, they've even opened new businesses or tried tools for the very first time. We want borrowing tools from us to be easy. Anyone in Chicago can join the library, and once you're a member, you can reserve tools, borrow them to complete your projects, and return them. It's that simple. As part of the sign-up, library members can choose the cost of their membership themselves. This creates a unique opportunity for people of every income level to support us. The Tool Library's main source of income is the Pay What You Can membership payments. With the support of the Boost Grant, we would be able to move towards paying our first part-time staff member. Doing this would open up new possibilities for new locations, programming, and so much more. Although we're currently volunteer-run, it's important to us that we not only provide our library resources, but that eventually we're able to create stable, engaging, and sustainable jobs for people in our community. Beyond our basic tool lending, we're building capacity to support all sorts of programs that highlight and expand our services. One of our longest-term partners is Chicago Public Library, who we partner with to host repair fairs, but we also are planning on doing so much more in the future.
You know what, I could do this myself if I had the right tools. And that's really sort of the empowering aspect about the Chicago Tool Library that I really appreciate. Because a lot of times a project that you could do yourself becomes much more difficult when you don't have the right equipment. But it becomes really expensive if you try to go to the store and buy it. So I really appreciate the affordability. It's pay what you can. And so every time I come or get a tool, I'm like, how much would I have been paying someone to come to do this? Not just their labor, but also the right equipment. And so that really helps me figure out how much I want to pay as membership and how much I want to contribute when I come. So that's been really important and empowering. And I think one of the big benefits that we want to keep going with this shared movement for sharing economy.
Thank you so much.
We hope you'll vote for the Chicago Tool Library. You can learn more about us at chicagotoolllibrary.org. Thank you so much for your support.
Hello, my name is Beth Churchill, and I am a community and social impact consultant for American Families Institute for Corporate and Social Impact in areas of economic empowerment and climate and community resilience. The Institute is a venture capital firm and partner of choice for exceptional entrepreneurs who are building scalable, sustainable businesses in a long-term effort to close equity gaps in America. In addition, the Institute recognizes that capacity building and supporting organizations and experts that have been working towards social causes are equally important in making a positive impact within our communities around the country and in our own backyard of Madison and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, along with the Greater Lakes region. I invite you to go to our website at www.amfaminstitute.com to learn more about us and the work we support to close equity gaps. It is my pleasure to take this opportunity to recognize all 4 Boost finalists. Thank you for leading the change you want to see in the world, and the best of luck.
Up next, we have Community Charging Initiative.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vanessa, founder of Chicago-based nonprofit Community Charging Initiative. We help build affordable electric vehicle chargers in urban residential Chicago neighborhoods. Our mission is to include everyone in the EV revolution by tackling one of the largest barriers to EV adoption: access to reliable charging options near people's homes and workplaces. We understand that passenger electric vehicles, or EVs, play a critical role in greenhouse gas emissions reductions, clean air, and affordable transportation, especially in Chicago. While EVs are now cost competitive with gas cars, especially with recent policy changes and new models, access to charging prevents EVs from scaling. After all, most EV charging is done at home or at work. So, what happens if you don't have a home charger? We want to improve Chicago's distribution of charging infrastructure with a community-based approach. As you can see, the majority of public EV chargers are located in and around downtown, in places where you can only park temporarily or you have to pay an expensive entry fee for. We also see public chargers in Chicago's wealthier neighborhoods and maybe in the suburbs, while much of the northwest, west, and south side of Chicago remains a charging desert. With 70% of Chicagoans living in multi-unit dwellings, many of whom rent or have street parking, like myself, it seems daunting to go electric. Remember, 80% of EV charging usually occurs at home. Moreover, Chicago could significantly benefit from the switch to passenger EVs since 83% of households own a car. And before COVID, half of those who owned a car would use it to drive to work. To address infrastructure gaps and encourage equity in the EV ecosystem, we leverage the sharing economy, existing infrastructure, and neighborhood hosts to build community chargers. We're talking level 2 chargers that can charge a car in 4 to 8 hours. We have found through surveys that many small commercial sites in Chicago charging deserts actually have parking available and electrical infrastructure in place to affordably host a level 2 charger. More importantly, these sites, which are small businesses, houses of worship, and community centers, are excited about providing this public amenity through a sharing economy model and supporting EV awareness. Through a sharing economy platform like Airbnb, but for charging, we can cost-effectively build more close-to-home infrastructure in Chicago neighborhoods, mitigating charging deserts and encouraging EV access for all. This year, we partnered with EV Match to obtain the Keeling Curve grant to fund a pilot for 4 community chargers on the northwest, west, and south side. Partnering with EV Match Software, which is the Airbnb of EV charging, the Blacks and Green minority-owned contractor network, neighborhood hosts, and local environmental organizations, we created 4 public chargers in charging deserts. We helped the site hosts install the charger, provided local outreach and education about the technology, and drove EV traffic to the chargers. Also, these chargers are now being used almost daily. We're now planning to build our next community charger in Woodlawn at the Green Living Room with our partners, Blacks and Green. Our community chargers have had a significant impact. We created the first public charger in back of the yards and the first public charger outside of an expensive parking garage in Hyde Park. This one is also available 24/7. We even influenced some neighbors to switch to an EV because of the proximity of their new close-to-home charger. We now want to bring this critical infrastructure to Woodlawn alongside our community partners. The Boost grant would charge up the Green Living Room, headquarters for Blacks and Green, a community space for clean energy, education, climate, coffee, and culture. It's the perfect spot for a community charger. We would collaborate with Blacks and Green to build the charger, develop local outreach and education materials about EVs, and host neighbor-to-neighbor ride and drive events to demo EV charging and EV technology. The charger would support a whole ecosystem of environmental education with their co-working space, new restaurant, museum, and community garden. It's sure to make an impact. Thank you for listening. I encourage you to vote for Community Charging Initiative so we can ensure all of Chicago has access to the future of transportation and so we can build more close-to-home, community-owned charging infrastructure. Thank you.
I'm coming to you today from the Colorado Rockies, which is a great backdrop for talking to you about United's new commitment to be 100% green by the year 2050. And when we talk about being carbon free, we mean something different than what you've heard a lot of other companies say. This problem has been building for the last 2 centuries. True sustainability is about taking on the biggest culprit in our industry, the emissions generated by our aircraft. And so the only way to really solve the climate change problem is through sustainable fuels and carbon sequestration. We're not going to do it the easy way. It's going to take hard answers, hard solutions to solve this problem. But United Airlines is committed to doing the right thing for the long term. Since the technology to make our goal a reality doesn't all exist yet, we're going to help build it. As part of our 2050 commitment, we're going to invest in a carbon sequestration project. These are projects that literally take carbon out of the atmosphere and pump it into the ground where it can stay for millions of years. I have 6 kids with 1 on the way, and I want to leave this kind of backdrop for those 7 kids and their kids and all the generations to come. We are the ones that have to stop punting the problem down the road. We can't continue to gradually evolve. And this is our chance to start a revolution and make a difference that will last for generations to come. While other airlines may continue to offset the problem, we're going to work hard to solve the problem before you even take your seat. After all, your journey begins before you board our planes, and so should ours.
And now we have Qilo.
Hi, I'm Brett, a co-founder of Qilo. I'm joined by my fellow co-founders and friends, Dave and Brett, and we want to transform how you see electricity. When you get your electric bill like this, how many of you don't understand the charges or the impact of your usage? Qilo is an energy solutions company based in Chicago that shows you the environmental benefits of reducing your bill. We surveyed and interviewed a total of nearly 1,000 people in the Midwest about their electricity usage at home and received a variety of responses. If you don't really understand your bill, you're not alone. People told us they don't either. They don't know how much they're using at any given time, and many cared about their environmental impact, but didn't have a way of measuring it. Ultimately, the problem was, what does my electric bill tell me? We've listened and continue to receive feedback what we can do to clarify electricity usage to help you save money and make informed decisions. So how will we do that? For our future service, you participate in ComEd's hourly pricing program, which allows you to pay for electricity at hourly market rates and sign up for Qilo's free web app. You'll then be able to see your electricity usage. Electricity prices actually change throughout the day. When everyone is using electricity the most, it is more expensive and dirtier because fossil fuels are pulled more to meet that demand. Through Qilo, you'll be able to compare how high or low prices will be in advance. Our data can be used if you have smart devices or not, but Qilo will provide the option to connect to a smart thermostat. Qilo will help motivate you to control your bill through viewing efficiency rankings compared to your neighbors and how much you could save money and reduce your carbon footprint. You'll receive notifications in advance when electricity is going to be both expensive and dirty, so you can use it when it's cheaper and cleaner. You will also be able to view the full impact of your choices. You'll see your current accumulated bill, monthly savings, and total lifetime savings. You'll be able to view the leads you earn, which represents a reduction of your carbon footprint. You'll feel empowered by taking control of your bill and helping the environment. Qilo currently helps those in hourly pricing with straightforward data and insights all in one location. On our website, kilowatt.com, we have a dashboard that displays what you need to know to reduce your bill, how you could use electricity better, and recent pricing trends. We have so far gone through a customer discovery process, launched our website application, and started to develop a community of people interested in our service in the ComEd region of Northern Illinois. We're now entering into phase 3 and working on sending those price notifications in advance and exploring smart device integration, which would include connecting to smart thermostats and EV charging. To do that, we're taking electricity and energy market data and using modeling and machine learning to predict future prices. In phase 4, we want to seek out partnerships in the sustainability community and start expanding outside of Illinois. Receiving the Boost grant will come at a perfect time for us in our development. We would use the $5,000 to update our website, including storage costs on AWS and other application and admin costs. While we expect these costs to go way up in the future, we do not currently have funding for this, and the $5,000 would actually cover what we need for the app for 1 year. I talked about some of the current and future benefits you can have with Qilo, including savings, reducing your carbon footprint, and cheaper thermostat use and EV charging. But the broader impact could be huge to the Midwest community and beyond. The The innovative hourly pricing program and our services are not available anywhere else in the US. The Midwest could become a leader. Your impact with Qilo would result in an accessible and equitable solution by providing a free service where people pay their fair share. Once we reach the full available US market, we estimate that the carbon saved would be equivalent to restoring a forest 3 times the size of Cook County. Our service would also reduce strain on the electric grid and would result in fewer blackouts. We are asking for your help. Please check out our website, kilowatt.com, and let us know what would help you with your electric bill. Connect with us on social media and make sustainable choices more accessible, and vote for Qilo. Thank you.
On behalf of Delta Institute, the Delta Emerging Leaders, and green entrepreneurs everywhere, we would like to thank the sponsors of this year's Boost event for their support. It's quite likely that you or someone you know lives, works, or has passed through a community that Delta has helped since founding in 1998. Boost sponsors understand that taking action now is not only a pressing climate change issue, but an issue of equity and environmental justice too. Thank you to our named award sponsors, the American Family Insurance Institute for Corporate and Social Impact, and United Airlines. Thank you to our platinum sponsors, Comcast, the People's Gas Community Fund, and Mike and Peggy Stevens. Thank you also to our gold sponsors, Carbon Yield and the Delta Emerging Leaders Alumni Group. To our green sponsors, RW Ventures, the Walter S. Mander Foundation, and Etelbert Williams. And to our blue sponsor, Wolf Computer Associates. We sincerely appreciate the generosity of these sponsors in support of Boost and Delta Institute's mission.
And our last finalist this evening is Tinyshop.
Hey everybody, I'm Christine Sorich. I'm a Chicagoan, an environmentalist, a designer. I started a zero waste store right here in Chicago called Tinyshop with a mission to eliminate the need for single-use packaging. Because we all know that our waste has become a massive problem. Our culture is reliant on disposable products in disposable packages, and it's gotten so out of control. Each person now disposes on average 5 pounds of waste every day. That's almost 1 ton of waste per person per year. The EPA reported just this in 2018 on their MSW report. But again, these metrics are from 2018. It's now 3 years later, and we've witnessed the effect COVID has had on waste. It has further deepened the problem of disposables with masks, hand sanitizer bottles, takeout containers everywhere. So what's the solution? Well, let's look at how things currently work in the packaging industry. We take brand new containers, fill them with a variety of products. These products are then purchased by customers. And once empty, the containers are either recycled or sent to the landfill. But what if we can change this part of the story? What if instead of the landfill, the containers that leave the shop could be returned to the shop and put back into the system? They would be washed, sanitized to close the loop, omitting the need of the landfill. This is Tinyshop. Still, I believe that it's not as simple as closing the loop. The key to making this shift happen is to bake convenience into the system, because it seems as though this is the reason disposables are everywhere. So how can Tinyshop be convenient? Tinyshop goods are pre-filled at Tinyshop, so they're as easy as any grab-and-go traditional grocery store. Currently, you shop through our website. We have all organic dry goods, things like coffee, teas, beans, rice, dried fruits, and a line of sustainable home and hygiene products that target lowering the single-use problem outside of the kitchen. You pick up your groceries at one of our weekly pop-ups, and if you can't make it to the pop-up, we also offer delivery in my electric car, of course. By offering Chicago convenience, there's now an easy way to shrink your personal waste stream when buying your groceries. I started Tinyshop just over a year ago, and Tinyshop has been to more than 50 pop-ups. We have filled almost 700 orders and diverted over 3,000 containers from the landfill. The demand is here. So what's next? How do we expand this mission? I signed a lease on Armitage Avenue in Logan Square. I think a permanent storefront will bring more convenience to Tinyshop. I'm currently in the process of designing the exterior and interior spaces, Perishable foods will be available at the storefront too, and this will help complete our grocery store lineup and make more of an impact with our returnables program. Along with convenience, we want to be an equitable product for the neighborhood that we're moving to and the city that we service. To do this, we plan to accept EBT SNAP at the storefront and already meet the criteria. We're going to have a volunteer program and give people in the service industry an opportunity to come in, fill jars in exchange for store credit, as well as offer discounts to customers for a list of environmental efforts that they currently do or start to do because of this incentive. Licensing and setting up the shop to handle reusables properly has been the real challenge. If we're chosen for the Boost grant, the money will be spent directly on a commercial dishwasher. It's the heart of Tinyshop after all. It's what makes the reusable system possible. It's really the missing piece of this broken puzzle. So, a convenient zero-waste shop in Logan Square that supports organic, focuses on equity, and helps shift demand away from disposables, that's Tinyshop. You can support Tinyshop by, of course, voting for us. And if you don't end up choosing us for this Boost grant, support us by shopping with us. Jump on our website, tell your friends. This will help us pay for our build out and help perpetuate the culture of shifting disposables to reusables. Thanks.
Wow, those were amazing pitches from our 4 finalists. We hope that you all feel so inspired and are carefully thinking about which organization you would like to support tonight with your vote. So, as a quick recap, tonight we had Tessa with Chicago Tool Library. The Chicago Tool Library is just like your local library, but for tools. They'll lend you tools for home repairs, gardening, sewing, cooking, and more, so you don't have to spend a bunch of money buying them just to use them only once. It's better for the planet, better for your budget, and better for the community. Then we had Vanessa at Community Charging Initiative, which is electric and existing neighborhood infrastructure to build EV chargers. They recruit small commercial sites in Chicago neighborhoods that have parking spaces to host community chargers, bringing a green future closer to the present. Then we had Qilo, with Brett giving that presentation. Qilo empowers residential electricity consumers with straightforward data about their usage habits to save money, reduce pollution, and encourage sustainable energy sources. Their vision promotes equity through fair distribution of costs, paving the way for a cleaner future. And last, we had Christine at Tinyshop. Tinyshop is an organic, zero-waste grocer with 100% returnable packaging. This circular system offers Chicagoans a convenient, low-impact shopping experience to shift away out of our current disposable culture. Look beyond just paper straws. The future of zero-waste packaging is here. We're so proud of all of our finalists tonight, and they're all deserving of our support. In order for your voice to be heard and our Boost winner to be selected, we need you to cast your vote. Anyone who is registered for the Boost event on Delta's website is eligible to cast a single vote. Go ahead and follow the voting instructions on your screen to help make one of these green entrepreneurs' dreams come true. We will announce the winner of this year's Boost competition 1 week from today on Tuesday, November 16th. Stick it in your planners, you'll want to know who wins. So keep a lookout in your inbox and make sure to follow Delta Institute on social media if you haven't already before tonight. This is your moment. We'd love for you to stay tuned for a live Q&A with our 4 finalists tonight. This is your chance to ask them any lingering questions you might have about their business models, their technologies, or even how they were inspired with these wonderful ideas. So stick around and get a chance to meet these innovators. Finally, on behalf of the Delta Institute, the Dells, and each of our finalists, we really appreciate you joining us to support sustainable entrepreneurship and innovation tonight. We cannot wait to see which of these organizations will get a boost in our 10th annual pitch competition. So thank you again for your concern and support of the environment. Have a great night, and don't forget to vote.